I'm Casey.
And I'm Jordan. And we're brothers, and we're the owners of Mountain Ops.
And you're watching
the Gritty Bowman.
Hello, all right. You're listening to the Gritty Bowman, home of gritty bow hunting films, interviews, tall tales, and a wee bit of manly boasting.
I'm South Cox, and you're listening to the Gritty Bowman.
Hey, this is Corey Jacobson, and you're listening to the Gritty Bowman.
We bone and raised outdoors, and you've been listening to the Gritty Bowman.
There you go.
On this episode of Gritty Bowman, we are at 10,000 feet in the mountains of Utah at my Call family reunion. And our friends from Mountain Ops, Casey and Jordan Harbertson, graciously crash our reunion and spend the day shooting bows and lifting weights with me, my sisters, and my brother-in-laws. We had a fun time. These two guys are salt-of-the-earth good guys who love what they're doing.
If you like this show, please go to our website at grittybowman.com and subscribe to this podcast and tell your mates and pals about us. Do us a favor and please take a moment to leave us a rating or a review on iTunes or on our YouTube channel. Send your questions and podcast ideas to grittybowman@gmail.com. If you're listening to this on iTunes, you can see the video version of this podcast on our website at www.grittybowman.com.
Performance and fitness are very important to me, but I care less about performance and more about long-term health and wellness. I want to be elk hunting in the mountains when I'm 70 years old, and I'm not kidding. So I'm not willing to sacrifice my health at the future age of 65 for increased performance today. I'm a huge skeptic when it comes to supplements. Instead of buying supplements, I have tried my best to get all my nutrition from healthy foods. I really don't like meal replacements or performance-enhancing products. I prefer a good elk steak with a pile of veggies, high-fiber fruit, and some water. The only supplements I have taken for the past 5 years has been calcium, fish oil, and creatine. And I'm a very healthy, very strong 41-year-old guy who likes to crush 20-somethings who think they can outwork me in the mountains. So when I first met Casey and got his Mountain Ops sales pitch, I wasn't buying any of it. Mark and I poke a little fun at Mountain Ops with our Yeti gritty tip, but the truth is we really love the stuff. Since then, I've tried other Mountain Ops products, and I've incorporated some of them into my overall fitness and performance plans. In this podcast, we discuss the Mountain Ops products, and you have a chance to meet the men behind the company. And I can't say enough kind things about them. These guys are passionate about their products and their brand, and they're busting their butts to deliver real value to their customers. This podcast is about 2 hours long, but I don't think you'll be bored with it. These guys are a lot of fun, and their products are super cool to talk about. I've split the podcast into 2 parts to make the uploads and downloads easier. I hope you enjoy the show and you get a lot of useful information out of it. Without further ado, here is today's podcast. All right, folks, welcome to the Gritty Bowman podcast. Today, we are in the mountains of Utah. Did you know we're at like 9,500 feet almost?
Actually, if you want an exact, 9,803 feet right here.
Oh, it's even higher than I thought.
Yeah.
I'm here with Mountain Ops with Casey Harbertson and his brother Jordan Harbertson, and you guys own it together?
We do. We are 2 of the 4 partners of Mountain Ops. We've got Trevor, who's the mad scientist over the products, and then we've got Joel, who's kind of the brand manager. So we all have our own specific roles, but
sweet.
You've got half of us here.
I'm at a family reunion here in Utah with in the mountains here. We drove from Oregon. We met, most of our relatives live in Arizona, so we kind of met halfway, and right here in these mountains was the destination of choice. But it's rained on us all week, which has left me a little disappointed in Utah.
You missed the 103 blaze that we went through for the last week, and now it's the 80 degrees and rain that's hitting us after.
But you're from Oregon. You're used to this.
But
we drop on you like a lot, like in one time, but you guys are just all the time.
Yeah, but we came here specifically to get away from that.
That's true.
And I feel betrayed.
I feel like you guys brought it, and then Utah just amplified it.
Yeah. Well, I've been wearing the same clothes for a week now. I'm glad you brought this shirt today.
You kind of.
I look pretty sick in this.
Yeah, it's looking good around the the magnificent biceps.
Pectorals.
Yeah, the pecs are looking good. The rack is looking solid on your chest.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming up here because you guys drove from North Salt Lake.
Yep.
That right? Come up here to hang with us, and I really appreciate that. So thanks for coming up here. I met Casey. I don't know, like February.
February, yeah, back at the Portland Sportsman's Show.
Yep, February this year, back at the Sportsman's Show in Portland. And I'll just kind of, Jordan, I'll give you a little. So I show up. And I meet Aaron Snyder there because got the Kafaru pack, and I wanted him to help me kind of fit it. I had one. I wanted him to sort of make sure I was wearing it right. So I'm in there, and I see Casey, and I see Mountain Ops. So I really don't know what it is, but I see everybody's got a Mountain Ops hat and shirt on.
It's in the booth.
Yeah, it's in the booth. I'm like,
I loved it because Jason Phelps is there, and instead of him wearing Phelps game calls, he's got a Mountain Ops shirt. Corey from Triple X Archery's there. He's got a Mountain Ops shirt. I mean, it was just Mountain Ops everywhere in that booth.
It was pretty cool. There was even like a deck of cards Mountain Ops, and I was like, man. So then I was really intrigued. I'm like, what is this stuff? And so Casey says, we start talking. And I've tried a lot of different fitness products, nutritional supplements and stuff to enhance performance or to, and so I've kind of tried a lot of these different things. And so we start talking, and I'm skeptical right off the bat. Okay, So Casey starts telling me, you got to try this.
I'm kind of a sketchy person. So I can understand and respect
everybody had the hat on, so there must have been something to it, right? So
everybody was taking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, that's right.
What is this Kool-Aid they got?
So Casey's like, look, dude, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to mix you some of this Yeti up, and you try it. Because I was a little skeptical. I'm like, really? And he kind of told me some background on it, and I'm like, okay. So he mixes it up, shakes it in a bottle, and then I take it, and I'm like, I don't really notice anything right off the bat, right? And then about an hour later, I'm like, I feel pretty good, pretty awake, And then throughout the whole day, I was really tired that day. And all day long, I was like, I'm not tired. I feel pretty good. And I went through that whole day and until late at night, and I felt wide awake, and brain was like clicking, So I was pretty excited about the product. I was like, I came back the next day, and I'm like, okay, Casey, let's talk more. Tell me more about Mountain Ops and what you're doing. So that's kind of what got me started, on that. And all I've really used is, and I've wanted to try some more, but so far all I've used is Yeti and Blaze. But we were talking about this earlier. We were out shooting some bows, and you were telling me about Yeti, and I was complaining about the altitude because I pretty much live at sea level, and this 10,000 feet is killing me. Like I get winded walking from the truck to the toilet.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, it was very apparent, Brian. So we didn't want to say anything. But
thanks. So tell me about this, about Yeti, how it works, and you talked about Ascent.
Yes. So the cool thing about our products, at least for a couple of them, the Yeti, the Enduro, and the Ascent, is they're going to help you at these high altitudes. The reason being, when we get up at these high altitudes, especially when your body is used to being at sea level, your body is going to be pressurized differently up here. Your blood flow is going to be different. Your oxygen intake is going to be different because you're used to breathing air down there. You're now breathing less air up here.
Yeah.
Well, our body needs blood and oxygen at these levels. I mean, you really feel it if you're not getting it.
Well, really, it needs blood and oxygen at all levels.
Right.
Just hypothetically speaking, yeah.
So brothers are for.
It's kind of an important thing to have blood and oxygen all the time.
but
yeah,
up here it's kind of in short supply.
It is in short supply.
There we go.
That is correct.
So what's cool about the Yeti and the Enduro products is, and the reason why you felt good you probably took that at what? I think the show started around 10, 11 in the morning, and you felt good all the way at night.
Yep.
You take a traditional energy product, you feel good for a couple hours.
Well,
maybe.
and I'll even say, if I drink a Monster or Rockstar, which never happens,
right.
But
nobody does
if
that.
if by chance I happen to have a Rockstar lemonade, it gives me a boost for a couple hours maybe, but then I feel pretty crummy after that.
It's that after effect that really is what kills you.
Because you're putting into your body, right, the caffeine, the high doses of caffeine, which is constricting the blood vessels. That's where we feel the rush, is because our body's having to work harder, interestingly enough, and so we become more alert because our body's like, oh, well, I need more blood because I'm not getting as much as and so that's what caffeine does. And then once it releases, once that caffeine goes away, all of a sudden it goes back to normal, and we just kind of like, our body's like, well, okay, now I can relax, but that it's not really relaxing. You eventually crash. And going back to like what Casey's saying with blood and oxygen, as we get to these higher levels, our bodies are acclimated to the elements that we live in. And as we go to higher elements or higher altitudes, like we are now here in the mountains, the blood level that you have operating your body and oxygen levels change. And so as we're going to higher levels, there's less oxygen. So your body needs that. And so what Yeti is doing, as well as Enduro, is it has a special ingredient in there called L-arginine. And for those of you that have never heard of that ingredient, what that does is it goes into your body and it dilates your blood vessels. And with that dilation, what happens is it increases the blood flow and oxygenation throughout your entire body. And so as we get to these higher altitudes, now our body's performing at a higher capacity because it's getting the amount of blood flow and oxygen that it needs because the product's helping to open up that. And so people are extremely skeptic, right? I mean, you were.
Oh, yeah.
And as an owner, I've told everybody this, I was skeptic. I've been skeptic of supplements. I've seen where some, nutritional products are not nutritional. They're not good. They're not saying what they do. And so you become skeptical. And I think is it's human nature for us to be skeptical about what we put in our bodies.
Yeah. Well, I'm also like, I care about longevity, health, fitness, wellness. So for me, I'm always, telling my wife, stop taking that pill, that just eat some real food, get the nutrition you need out of real food, get source it from the right place and eat well, and your body will perform at its best. And I firmly believe in that. But at the same time, when I was in Prince of Wales hunting bear, and the hours were like 18-hour days. The days were like 18 hours, and then just short nights. And the bear were moving all the time, all day long, randomly. And we figured that out right off the bat. And so I hadn't shot a bear yet, so I was going to hunt until I shot one. I was trying to hit all hours of the day. So there was no naps in the afternoon, or and I'm only there on Prince of Wales for that little over a week time. I'll rest when I get a bear down. When I get the bear down that I want to get down, So I was using some Yeti that week, and man, it just let me push it to the next level. Now, I feel like I'm robbing my future a little bit for the now. My body would normally want to sleep a little more than that. But I deprived it of that sleep. But I felt great the whole time.
But how did you sleep at night, though?
I slept great, like a rock.
Did you find yourself sleeping better at night?
I slept perfectly. And that's the thing, like, if I take, like, an energy drink to traditional type, I don't sleep at night. And so all I'm saying is that I'm still skeptical, and yet it's working.
It's working.
So I'm using it,
Well, let me tell you the science behind what's working. Now, there is a lot of science behind that product that Jordan, or that it's an amino acid, that L-arginine.
Mm-hmm.
What it does, it dilates your blood vessel for 20 hours, and it increases what's called nitric oxide production. Right now, our body's naturally producing nitric oxide. What's what runs our metabolism, and it's what's got those kids outside running around like crazy. That's nitric oxide. That's your energy. As our metabolism starts slowing down, our energy levels start slowing down, our nitric oxide production slows down as well. Well, we're now increasing blood flow and increasing nitric oxide production for 20 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Cool thing about nitric oxide as well, helps you sleep better. So a lot of guys that normally can't sleep in the bush because they're not in their sleep number bed,
right.
They're finding that they can sleep better because the nitric oxide is helping them with their sleep as well as their energy. It's really doing so many awesome things.
Yeah.
So it's giving you that smooth energy for 20 hours. So yes, do you miss the naps throughout the day? Absolutely. But guess what? You're seeing animals as they're changing their beds, moving to because they've grazed out of the area they're in. I mean, they're leaving, they're snagging some water, You're seeing all that happening that normally you're under a quake. You just
I did not have to crash or just my body's just saying, hey, you've had enough. It just felt great the whole time.
Yep.
And sleeping at night, not a problem.
Yeah.
So tell me then, so we've talked about the Yeti a little bit then. What's the story with, so explain Blaze to me real quick before we get into Ascent.
So Blaze, okay. So let me talk about Enduro first.
Okay.
So hand me the Enduro, Jord. So Yeti and Enduro are very, very similar in the sense that they both have that 20-hour nitric oxide release. Now, a lot of individuals are caffeine sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
The Yeti has caffeine, creatine, niacin in it, so it's going to give you more of a pump, more energy. If you're caffeine sensitive or you don't want creatine, some people don't like the way that creatine reacts with their body. Maybe it grows muscle too fast where they don't want muscle, or depending upon the way they are.
Yeah, retain water.
Retain water.
They don't want to be.
The Enduro doesn't have those in it, but it has all the same properties as that L-arginine. So what you're getting is a non-stimulated energy stimulated.
Got it.
So cool thing about Enduro as well is I'm going to bring my wife into this. We'll see if she watches. She was on Yeti for a little while. Her body reacts to to creatine very well. She started putting on so much muscle on her legs that I told her, look, honey, you got to back off because you could kick me to death right now.
How did that conversation go? So, sweetie, I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking great, but can you just back it off a little bit?
I wish I had her family's genes for muscle. I mean, they build muscle by just walking around. Like, it's crazy. But so what I said is, let me have you do this, honey. Like, because her goal is to actually trim down.
Yeah.
And so I said, get on the Enduro, and then since you want that pump, take the Blaze with it. So what the Blaze has is it's got energy focus, appetite suppressant, fat burning, and so what that's going to do is this has the caffeine where this doesn't. So you take this. If you want the nitric oxide properties here, but you don't want like the creatine, you take these two together.
See, because Casey, so Casey's a Yeti man. Casey loves to get into #Yeti mode, as we say. And when we were testing, Casey and I were both testing these products before we brought them to market. Casey put a really heavy test emphasis and R&D on Yeti, while I was really testing these two. And so I became, this is what we call our Ignite combo. This became my combo of choice, only because at the time, if we're speaking about kind of working out or, different things like that, I wasn't so concerned about building muscle at that time. I actually wanted to trim down. So I was looking to trim down a little bit, but I wanted to have the aided benefits that Casey just addressed of what we call vasodilation, where you dilate the blood vessels. Plus, I was like, man, I want to curb my appetite. And then it's a fat burner. Sweet. I need that. And so for me, I started doing a lot with this stack right here. And so the cool thing about it, and the way that this is built, again, everything that we do at Mountain Ops, we're trying to think about the outdoorsman, the hunter, the outdoor athlete. How do we address their needs? How do we ourselves, because we're the product of the product, what do we need when we're in the outdoors? So the cool things is, let's talk about two things just about this stack. One is like just related to the gym and just someone who's looking to get in better shape. By curbing the appetite, our intake is less, right? When we curb the appetite, this also goes in, thermoregulates the body, and it burns fat along with that. While that process is going on, when we eat food, that actually gives us energy, right? Gives our body energy. If we're curbing the appetite, we're taking in less. So we supplement that by providing a long, sustainable, and healthy, smooth energy release with a zero crash, which is cool. We put that on all our products. Any energy product we have has a zero crash factor. So you couple that with the Enduro, which now opens up the blood vessels, increases oxygenation to the body, helps with output performance. It also helps with your metabolism if you're taking this together. So now this is a great stack for leaning up. So I'm actually down since January by taking this stack, and I was only doing cardio.
Yeah.
I'm down 28 pounds now. You wouldn't believe it. But my wife will tell you. Because unlike Casey, where he's telling his wife, hey, you need to chill out. My wife's like, dang. Like, I'm, you know, and we're 5 years into marriage, and she's loving me again. So, but that's the difference in the two stacks. And kind of the cool thing that, you know, a lot of guys have said, so as you've been did you take this when you were up in
Nope.
bear hunting? Okay, so one of the things that's cool about this, now speaking to the outdoors, is we're curbing the appetite, right? We're suppressing the appetite, which means you're not craving as much food, but we're not sacrificing your energy levels by any means, and you're burning fat while you're getting a great workout on the mountain. So you can pack less because you're taking this and pack just small granola bars or different things, you know. And you don't need a big full meal because this is helping to curb that and keep you, you know, at high performance while you're out there. So that's kind of the difference between the two.
We highly recommend everyone trying either this combo or this by itself because people will find that their body likes the way they feel on one or the other. The energy levels I feel on this, I like way more than this. The Blaze really does give you a laser focus. I like to feel a little bit more free-floating, if you will, on my energy.
I've used the Enduro, actually, and the Yeti. And this didn't really do much by itself in terms of like stimulate.
So if you're used to, so like fair warning, if you are like expecting this to give you energy and you drink 6 pots of coffee a day, it's not going to do it. This is going to be, you will feel energy. Like my father-in-law doesn't consume, and my mother-in-law don't consume any caffeine at all really throughout the day. So they started taking this. And the thing that they said is, I feel like my brain is turned on.
Yeah.
It's because you're getting more blood and oxygen to your brain. Anywhere that you have a vein in your body, this is getting more blood and oxygen to it.
Well, I will say that for me, you know, I have a desk job on my non-gritty Bowman days, right?
Right.
And when I'm working at the desk, like, so I can push it pretty hard and be groggy all day if I'm out moving. You know, no big deal.
If you're just out being active.
Yeah, if I'm being active, if I'm out hunting or whatever. But when I sit down at a computer and I got to, like, draft something up and have my, you know, just thinking that, just sitting there, or I actually have a standing desk, so I stand the whole time. But just, I'll get tired, you know. And when I take something like this, with the Yeti, it does help me, like, just think clearly. That's why I said earlier, it just kept my mind a lot clearer. It let me, like, stay focused when I really needed it. So I don't take it every day, but I take it when I want that
when you need
performance.
Yep. And that's truly the best way to take it when you need it. You know, depending upon your goal. If your goal is to trim down, take it every day on that Ignite combo that Jordan's talking about.
Yeah.
If you're just needing energy, you're not needing to trim down, just take it when you need the energy.
Yeah.
You know, we've got guys that, you know, they work on the oil fields, you know, or their desk jobs or these things. And a lot of people, you know, they just take Blaze. They'll pop 2 pills in the morning and just get that going because it gives them energy and focus and kind of takes you from here, puts you right here for the work day. Yeah. And then while you're sitting in your desk, right, you're getting that thermoregulator that's burning fat. Obviously, if you are being more active, doing something that's more physical, it's improving its production. But, you know, the products are phenomenal for a daily as well as taking them when you feel that you need that added performance. And you said that earlier when we were up shooting. You're like, you know, there's, like you were saying earlier, you're like, you know, we eat food. I eat healthy food, and I've never been one for supplements or nutritional products. But you said there were times when you were like, I feel like I needed that performance because I wanted to just go all day.
And that's where well, one thing I wanted to get into next was the altitude. We talked on it a little bit, but you were just saying something when we were up there shooting about the ascent. What's the story on that?
I'll let Jordan touch on that. The cool thing about the ascent is I'll just share one quick testimonial that we have of a guy that used our product last year. So he's from Ohio. I can't remember his name, but the testimony is on our website on this product. He went to Idaho, hunted at about 4,000 feet for elk early season. It was like an August or September, early September hunt, something like that. Sicker than a dog the entire time because he was going, you know, from basically about 1,000 feet of elevation to 4,000 feet, and his hunt was essentially ruined because he was sick for 3 days of the hunt.
Yeah.
And usually, if you've never experienced altitude sickness, I never have personally because I've always lived around 45 to 7,500 feet.
I'm here to tell you it's real.
Well, not only
all
is it
week
real,
long, dude.
firsthand.
Yeah, I'm here.
The
with
struggle is real.
My brother-in-laws are here behind the camera, Travis and Bryce, and we've all three of us. You know, as soon as we drove up into this parking lot at 10,000 feet, we started unloading the truck, and I was like, walking to the tent, I'm sitting, and I'm like, what is wrong? Something's wrong with me. I didn't realize, you know, at first, for the first half hour, that I sat down like 3 times. I'm like, what is wrong?
I thought I was in good shape.
Yeah, my head's starting to hurt. And then I realized, then someone said, well, we're at, 10,000 feet. And then that's when, then it started to click. And I'm like, okay. And I lived in Denver for a while. And when we first moved there, the same thing happened. I mean, I'm in killer shape. I mean, I think so. And I'm crushing it on the basketball court, here in Portland, Oregon at sea level. So I show up in Denver, and I'm going to kill these people. And I'm bent over, just dying, just can't breathe. And it took like 3 months, I think, to adjust to the acclimations, or to acclimate to that elevation. And it was tough. I mean, it was tough. And I mean, it's real. So when you hit that elevation, it's real. You get these headaches. You can get
headaches,
sick.
dizziness. I mean, fatigue. I mean, literally, the worst thing that you can do is go on a hunt and the first 3 days acclimate. Basically,
yeah, you want to just
and
hunt.
You're on a 5-day hunt, right? So you waste 3 days of the hunt.
Yeah,
and you're probably, if you're leaving the state that you're normally residing in, that means you're putting some, significant amount of money towards that hunt. Usually,
right.
Out of state tags are expensive, travel, everything to get there. So what we want is for you to be able to have an amazing experience on the hunt. What the ascent does is, you start taking it 3 days before you leave on your hunt. If you don't take it, that amount of time, you'll probably still be okay as long as you can take it as soon as you can when you get to that higher elevation.
Because like you were saying, like you were balling, right? Gritty balling down in Oregon, dude. Just like, slam dunk, right? Can you dunk it?
I wish. I can touch the rim.
You got hops? You can touch the rim?
They're saying this is your vertical.
The vertical's like this. Brian's vertical.
Dude, I'm tough as hell.
Did you ball in school?
In high school, yeah.
Okay, so I played basketball as well.
I heard Casey did. And I heard he's kind of softy.
Casey,
it's funny. I've got the height, and I didn't care to play basketball.
It was so messed up.
He's a shorty, and he wants to play ball.
Yeah, but I had the long wingspan, so I was a point guard, but, so we probably played the same position. But, and this actually happens a lot, kind of going back to just, as you're talking from Denver to Oregon, guys come out from the West Coast or even from the East Coast, and they'll come play at the University of Utah. They'll play at BYU or Utah State. They'll play at these schools like a football game.
Right.
And you'll see the other team on the sidelines with oxygen masks going.
Yeah. Oh, totally. You see it like the Denver Nuggets. All they want to do is run guys out of the gym. I mean, their strategy is just to run at home. Yep. And they win all these games at home, and they go on the road. And they... Yeah, they're not so good.
They're not so good. And so these guys are...
Wait. Denver Nugget fans, that was in the past, maybe?
Well... Let's just say this. So, like, would you rather be a Denver fan right now or a Jazz fan? And I know a lot of Jazz Nation's going to be mad at me, but there ain't no Stockton to Malone anymore. The mailman's not delivering. It's tough. Like, the whole demographic of the game's changed.
It's tough. It's tough to be
a tough league
Jazz
now.
fan.
It is a really... And so you have respect for those diehards.
I will say, jumped on that Portland bandwagon. When I lived in Portland 10 years ago, there was nobody on that bandwagon, but now
everybody's a Blazer fan.
Yeah, now everybody goes to the games.
They all left. I mean, we lost.
You lost half your team this year. Yeah, they all left.
I mean, it's kind of brutal. I don't know how it's going to turn out. But anyway, back to the gym and the elevation.
Right, oxygen, all of that stuff. Yeah. So how the ascent plays a vital role in all of that is it's increasing and improving the circulation and eliminating the fatiguing that happens with that process. Now, what happens in our bodies, again, as we get up to those higher levels with lower oxygen levels, there's a thing called lactic acid that builds up in our body.
Yep.
When that lactic acid is building up, it's causing the fatiguing, the sicknesses, the headaches. And so it's like guys will like Casey's saying, you get these guys that are spending these monies on this hunt, and they're out there and they're excited, And if hopefully they've trained or prepared themselves for what they're going to take on, whether it's a mule deer hunt or a high country, backcountry, elk hunt.
Yeah.
Any of these big game animals that we're chasing out here in the West. And like Casey said, they get sick. They have headaches. And high altitude sickness is a very serious thing. When you're talking north of 10,000 feet, there's even death is they use it. You have headaches, sicknesses, and then what the recommendations are is as you get to high altitude, and you feel sicknesses, then you need to descend down about 1,000 feet so you can help these symptoms go away.
Right.
Nobody wants to do that.
No.
Because the big game's up there.
Well,
why do I want to go down when I need to go up?
That would suck. Going down 1,000 feet just to climb back up.
Because then you're like, okay, now I feel good, so let's go do that again.
I just suffer up there. I just be in pain.
Oh, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. And
so wait, Jordan.
What?
I'm highly skeptical that this works.
Well, we brought a bottle to leave with you.
Yeah, right, dude, right. This is yours.
No, I'm totally jazzed about this. I really want to try this.
So give me the Enduro. So again,
wait. Let me finish. I didn't get to finish that testimonial. I told
you
I told you about the Idaho.
He cut in,
dude. It happens.
I'm just used to it.
Unfortunately, I'm not on Blaze right now, so my focus is not as good as it could be.
Okay.
I might just crack one right now while you guys are talking.
4,000 feet. First 3 days, sicker than a dog. Horrible experience.
Right.
I guess he went on another hunt in Colorado in November at 11,000 feet. Whether it was an elk hunt or a mule deer hunt, I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And in it, he said, from the time that I went on that Idaho hunt to the time I went to Colorado hunt, I found Mountain Ops. I used the Ascent product on my Colorado hunt, and I had the best experience I've ever had on a hunt. So what's cool about that is higher elevation gain for this individual and better performance. So he was sick at 4,000, best experience that he could experience on the Ascent product at 11,000 feet. So that's what you have to look forward to using the Ascent product. Now, as Jordan was, after he gets done popping
so I don't cut in again. I'm just going to get blazed right now so I can focus.
Did you try one of these shots when we were at the...
No.
Oh, what time is it? So with the blaze shot, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Let's see, what time is it?
That's what I'm checking. Check your watch.
Jordan, it doesn't matter what time it is for Jordan.
So, yeah, because this guy will give you between 6 to 8 hours of healthy, sustainable energy with a zero crash. So you could actually drink half of it and get about that 4 to 5 hours. 4 to 5 hours.
Most of these energy shots, they've got about a 2-hour shelf life, even though they say they're a 5-hour energy. But this, you're looking at 6 to 8 hours of that smooth energy. It's formulated after the same as those Blaze pills, but just a different delivery system.
Okay.
So, anyways,
this gives you a little
quick
boost.
note on that while we're distracting again. But talking about the product that helps you stay on track. That's the cool thing about the Blaze. Again, I just taking that. About 10 to 15 minutes, you'll start to feel just really good. You'll notice a change in your mental acuities, your awareness, and then you get dialed in, you get focused.
So how does this compare to like a 5-hour energy and stuff like that?
No comparison.
That's what this reminds me of.
Have you taken a 5-hour?
Never have.
Okay. So the only experience I've ever had on a 5-hour energy. Now my body is weird, and I found that
I'm going to take this because
alone.
I trust you guys.
Trust
says
us.
a lot.
Well, you've taken the Blaze pills, right? And you trust the Blaze
Yes,
pills.
true.
So now you're just taking a liquid form of the Blaze pills. The only thing that we did not bring over from the Blaze pills was the appetite suppressor and the fat burner. So you're just getting the pure, because guys were saying, we tested it in the East and in the West with guys in stands and guys on the mountain, and it came back unanimous. They said, gosh dang, I'm getting 6 to 8 hours of healthy energy. I feel good. I didn't notice any crash. I just felt, focused the whole time, and I felt energized, and I was able to perform better. And so what we said to, and the other thing they said, well, I just loved how aware I was when I might have fallen asleep, taking a nap.
Did you take it?
I did.
What did you think of the flavor?
I didn't. It's
no, before you say it, in one word, what did it taste like?
Vitamins.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Or like Smarties?
Vitamins.
Vitamins?
Tastes like vitamins.
Okay.
There's a lot of vitamins in there.
That's why we can actually market this as a healthy energy, is it is just vitamins, minerals, And even the caffeine in it is a natural caffeine. The sweetener in it, there's no sugar in there at all. The sweetener is what's called trucrose, which is a natural sweetener that your brain absolutely loves. And so that trucrose also helps you to have that focus factor as well.
So I cut you off on the energy drink, the 5 hour.
So what I was going to say is, so this is
But now,
your first.
now you've taken. Is this your first time taking an
This will be
energy
nice.
shot?
This is the first time ever. Well,
This
in
is a
Japan,
moment.
I was a missionary in Japan, and they had little energy drinks back then. Like this is like 95.
Okay.
And they tasted like vitamins. They were little like this, but they gave you little. I have no idea what was in it, but it was definitely some kind of energy boost. It's like, here you go. But that's it. That's all
Okay.
I've ever taken.
So if you look at the ingredients in a 5 hour, it's tons of caffeine, ginseng, taurine, everything that's built to spike you and crash you, essentially.
Yeah.
My body's weird, so when I took it, my body, I literally could drink a 5 hour energy and it immediately crashes me. Caffeine actually crashes me.
Okay.
So one of the things when we were formulating these products, and Trevor, as I mentioned, was the mad scientist behind it. I said, Trevor, I understand that everybody, when they're going for energy, essentially is like, let's just throw a bunch of caffeine in it, and then
Right.
it's the cheap way of energy.
It's like, let's get them up, But it's like on the back end, it's like, well, how do we take care of them after that process is done?
Yeah,
Right.
And so for me, I take a 5 hour and I crash within a half hour. Like I'm not lying out on the floor like worthless as can be. I've taken other energy pills. We have fun testing days at Mountain Ops. I've tested so many energy pills, it's not even funny. One of them was 600 milligrams of caffeine. It's like truckers take it.
Yeah.
And me and Trevor tested it. Trevor's wigging out because caffeine just like totally dopes him out. And I'm like,
Casey,
oh, no.
I'm sitting in my office or in the office because Casey and I, our desks are next to each other. And Casey is usually pretty upbeat and looking, we're talking like, all right, what are we going to do next? And Casey is like this.
And I took it at 10 o'clock in the morning.
And I'm like, dude, are you okay? And he's like,
How long has
What?
it been since you took it when you were doing that?
it was
So
in,
it
it was
just-
within 15 minutes
Of
after taking it. He
it
was
crashed
just,
my body.
yeah.
So I found talking with a lot of people at shows and different things, there's a lot of people that are like me where caffeine literally doesn't do anything for them. It almost does the adverse effect. So like I used to drink a ton of Mountain Dew. I would crack open a can of Mountain Dew before I went to bed
Yeah.
just so it
Just so
would
you
put me
fall
to sleep.
asleep.
And so what's
Not a good idea.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
no, I
Not-
do
we
not
don't
recommend
we don't
it.
recommend that.
So I said, we've
anybody.
got to address those weirdos like me.
Yeah.
That caffeine doesn't affect them. Well, I get energy from the Yeti, and it has caffeine in it.
Mm-hmm.
I get energy from the Blaze, and it has caffeine in it.
Right.
But we are also using other energy products
Yep.
that are, in all reality, a lot better
Mm-hmm.
than a caffeine. Caffeine, in my opinion, is kind of the cheap way of providing
Yeah.
energy.
So
Yeah.
so in taking all of that, when talking about 5 hour and that kind of thing, yeah, is it a comparison? It's not really a fair comparison because our product is so nutritional and so different. Where that's just kind of, let's just give them energy, but let's crash them afterwards. And who cares? Because after they crash, they'll probably just pop another one to get back up to that where they
Right,
want to
right.
be. What this does is the Blaze helps to create a level of smooth energy over a longer period of time that's very smooth. So you'll hit kind of this even kill level that you kind of sit there and then it just brings you down. You'll never notice the down. You'll just all of a sudden you're like, well, I still feel good, but I never noticed that it was done, but it's obviously, it's past time.
Right.
Because the process of what we're trying to do is we're thinking, okay, a guy's sitting behind a gun, a guy's sitting behind a bow.
Yeah.
We can't afford to have any of these distractions of these other products. They're not really thinking about that. They're just thinking about getting a guy or a lady to have energy.
Right.
We got to be able to help that person be focused and dialed in behind a weapon, when you're in the outdoors, because you can't afford to be distracted. Yeah. And so that's really what Blaze, Blaze it's a product, and unfortunately there's a lot, talking about supplements, there's a lot of people that are skeptical about those. There's just as many people that are skeptical about the Blaze shots because the bad experiences they've had on these not so nutritional or healthy conscious products that these companies are making.
Well, I will say that I haven't had anything negative come out of using the Yeti. Normally if I use any kind of energy supplement type of something to boost some energy, it always comes with a cost. But with the Yeti, I haven't experienced that. So I really don't know the mad science behind all this stuff. All I know is I want to make sure two things: that it works, or why take it, and two, that it isn't bad for me, right? It doesn't cause any really bad negative side effects.
Yeah, the side effects.
So when I read the ingredients on that Yeti, I'm like, that's the first thing I did when you gave it to me. I was like, let me see this before I drink this at the Northwest at the Sportsman show. I was like, And I went down that list and I was like, I turned to Bryce, who's my brother-in-law. We work out together because we're bad.
Yeah.
And
Bryce seems like he lists a little bit better than you do.
I was gonna say his muscle
up,
dude.
Just
Definitely
saying.
a lot less body fat percentage
look,
on him.
he's right.
Look.
His legs maybe look a little bit. Maybe you're focusing on leg day too much.
It's funny. I have better leg lifts than Bryce. We're opposite.
We're opposite.
Everything he's good at, I'm not, and everything I'm good at, he's not. And we're competitive, so it works out well because we beat each other about half the time.
See, and that's what's interesting is I'm just pretty much better than everything at Casey. But what I like to do is kind of dial it back. So Casey's like, yeah, I can shoot better,
you
than
just
Casey.
let
I'm
him win.
I want him to feel good.
Yeah.
Do you remember those?
You're a magnanimous dude.
Now I know what the next comment he's going to make after we shot our bows.
Did we get those groups?
Yeah.
Out there?
True.
What was mine?
Yours were like touching.
Yeah.
Robin
And that's
Hood.
where I was like,
his?
that's where I was like, I'm sure they're going to shoot center, so I'm going to shoot over here and then I'm going to spread them out a little bit because I want them to feel like they're doing. I want Brian and them to feel good about what they're doing. It's all about confidence. That's what it's about. It's building confidence.
I think my shot that hit the tree and then ricocheted and hit the target was better than Jordan.
See, now
It's quite possible.
Yeah.
that's what sucks. Is because I can't deny that it was a better shot than mine, and you hit a limb. My problem is I just got this new bow from Hoyt, the new
Dude, I gotta
Nitrum
say, those
Turbo.
bows look sweet.
Oh,
man,
man,
we almost. Can you go grab one of those
I
bows?
mean, they're just too cool looking.
Okay, aesthetically, they've got to be the best looking bow on the market.
I just want to step back for a minute and just
hey,
say,
grab mine in the Easton case, not in the Hoyt case.
okay, you guys.
Either one of them looks good. See, and
Mine
this is
looks
what
better.
But you know what? Let
His
him get his
left-handed.
bow.
Not very many people. Can
We want
relate
Casey
with
to feel
yours.
good about his bow.
Here's the deal. One has an orange handle, and yeah. You guys,
There is a few differences. We're very similar, but there are those.
now don't take this the wrong way. But you guys are kind of pretty boys. Like everything's clean cut and looks good, and nice shirts and hats, and you look good. You look really good. That bow looks like it's pimped out.
It is. pimped out.
It's big pimping.
Yeah,
It's we're those guys that I can't wear offset camo. Is that bad? Like, am I I've been called a camo fashion runway boy because I'll have, like, right now I'm wearing the First Light pants with ASAT, and unfortunately I did not have my ASAT coat, and I felt a little off wearing my Core 4 Element, Max 1 top because I like to match. And Casey's the same way. It's just, I'm
Okay,
like,
one thing you have to know about us, we come from a background of design and marketing.
yeah.
So everything that we've done for the last 10 to 15 years has to look perfect. We are perfectionists, and you see that in the Mountain
Yeah.
Ops marketing. Okay,
Yeah.
we are over the Mountain Ops marketing. So what you see is we look over everything.
it's tight.
It's tight.
It is,
Everything's
but let
tight.
me just say this. We shoot as straight as you can get.
Yes.
We're straight shooters.
Yes.
With our bows.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
So if you met my wife, my wife absolutely. It's so funny that she married me. She's always like dressed to the nines, dolled up. Like I took her on a date last night. And I think I was wearing this shirt, and she's all, just whatever's in fashion, right?
Right.
And I'm wearing this and some camo pants. And she's like, "Are you really gonna wear that on our date?" And I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah.
And that's
this
about
is pop- this
as
is-
crazy as I can get. Because my wife, I'm not afraid to admit, my wife dresses me.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
You're right. Mine,
honestly,
mine can't stand it because she wants to dress me. And what's sad is, so I will look top to bottom matching in camo, but come like just regular clothes, my wife's like, those colors are clashing. I was like, really?
I'll get that too. In fact,
I just put on some shorts.
the only thing that I override her on is if she's asking me to wear something that I don't think is masculine enough.
No, she tried to do like those deep V's.
Right.
And I was like, baby, I absolutely love you, but you can almost see my nipples.
That's
And I know
then you have
those campaigns that
there's
are
the
out there right
deep-
now, the free the nipple, and I'm like, I can't free the nipple.
You can't.
No.
No,
I
I'm
mean,
not gonna
I
do
could, but I got this physique that
yeah,
I just can.
that's the
Not
thing.
every guy can pull it off.
No.
So
This is the Mountain Ops. Okay, and it was funny, we were sitting down with the boys at Hoyt because when we told them the name of our company, they're like, "Gosh dang, that's a really cool name for a bow." The Hoyt Mountain Ops. We're like, "Well, we'll make one." So Casey and I got the new Hoyt Nitrum
dude,
ZTs turbos.
when we were doing the Gritty Bowman, I was like, I like the orange. I want the orange. But then I was like, for our logo. Then I was like, man, I can't copy like everybody else because Setska's got the orange. You have the orange. There's a few other. I was like, but I really envy the orange. I just
Envy's
love the orange.
It's a nice color because it correlates with our industry.
Yeah.
Guys that put on orange, and it's bright and it's kind of out there. And when we came to market as Mountains, we wanted to stand out. We didn't want to fit in by any means because of who we are and really what we are. And so the orange was kind of the color we went with. Casey and I actually, as a kind of a side note, both of our favorite colors actually lime green.
Yeah.
We
I push
we
hardcore
tried to push
for
lime
lime
green as our
green.
color.
Look, guys, I'm just glad that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay, the orange is cool.
It's
But you can't,
lime green. Seriously,
that's our
You're gonna have
color,
to-
man.
You're gonna have
my
to show
other
me
bow.
some lime green.
I'll-
That's cool.
you should see my other bow.
Our
My
other bow-
is all murdered out black with lime green accents.
It
and
was
looks
really
smooth.
posh. But so we told them that we said, well, we'll make it. And that's the one thing that I liked about the Hoyt. And the thing, people have asked Casey and I, they ask us what bow we shoot, and everybody has their bow that they like,
Yeah.
and everybody kind of goes, well, this one is better than that one. And I was like, well, honestly, when it comes down to it, when you put it in your hand, you got to find what fits for you.
Yeah.
But you've got to shoot enough to find what you like. And
Right.
and Casey and I have shot Hoyt our whole lives, and so when we went to them, so we put together this guy, which is it's their Harvest Brown model with the carbon cams, and then we put orange throughout, and it came together. So we call that the Hoyt Mountain Ops Nitrum Turbo right there.
And I'll tell you, this thing,
It's a smooth shot.
it is smooth. I was very, very hesitant to get a different bow this season. And the way that I've been shooting this the last couple of weeks has been absolutely fantastic.
Well, and that's the thing is Casey was shooting his carbon matrix, and he was like, I'm shooting quarters. Like, I don't know if I want to switch.
Yeah.
And we went and tried these guys out, and again, everybody has a bow that's for them. This is what Casey and I shoot. We love this bow. When we tried it, it's got this zero torque system on it. So the draw is extremely smooth back, and then the release is quiet, and it's just the flight of the arrow. And we shoot Casey's got these injections. We both shoot the smaller diameter Easton arrow. So he's got the Easton carbon injection, and I've got the Easton Deep 6 FMJ arrows, which is actually a carbon arrow with a aluminum core inside, with a carbon core. So it's a cool bow, but yeah, hey, if he doesn't shoot straight, at least he looks good, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it is cool looking. And
I will tell you this.
Yep.
If there's anybody out there that wants to do any type of competition that says that pretty boys can't do crap, I'm willing to take them on anything.
Yes. I for one actually like mismatching camo. I think it makes a statement. It says, I walk my own walk.
Right.
Right? You know, like I'm not just going to conform. That said, it's really whatever I got off of Camel Fire at a cheap price and matches. It's truly, I care about the technical features of the garment and less about the brand or you know. But there's two things I look for when I'm looking at a company like, for instance, Hoyt, right? One is that that the product performs well, right? That it's a great product. Two, that the people that run the company, there are people I can get behind, right? Like I like how they're taking care of their customers or how they're delivering. Now there's some companies where I have supported where maybe their customer service, you know, isn't as good as another. And it does make me think about, okay, maybe it's time for me to switch, even though I love the product they make, right? So that was a huge tangent, and I want to get back here.
Are we focused now?
Because, dude, I took the Blaze,
My
and I
guess
am
is it won't be our last
drilled in. Okay. Before I took this at the show back in February, the Yeti. Before I took the Yeti, I went through and I was reading those ingredients, and I was like, "Holy cow!" I turned to my brother-in-law Bryce, and I was like, dude, there's just really nothing on here that I don't want to take. Like, I want these kind of things every day. I don't know particularly at what dosages and stuff, but these are all ingredients that I can totally get behind. I'm like, really? That's what's in here? And then you're like, take it, dude, you know, and you mix it up. And I'm going, well, I've taken this stuff before, and it's never really done what you're claiming it's going to do. Now, I didn't take it in this cocktail, right? I just took a little thing here and a little thing there and different, you know, I would get L-arginine and citrulline and creatine and all the beta-alanine and put all these things together, you know, and sort of, and each bottle was like $10 or $20, and I had like 10 of them, and there's like $300 of supplements, you know, last me 30 days, you know, it's like, but still, it did not do what, you know, didn't feel the same as this stuff. So, but anyway, I was really impressed with the ingredients, and then, and which led me to skepticism on the actual, I knew they'd be good for me. I just wasn't sure that they'd actually give me the performance that you were claiming. No offense, Casey.
No, I love skepticism because it's an actual product that you can stand behind and say, try it.
Yeah, you're not paying your mad scientist enough. You guys are out front taking all that. We're Mountain Ops.
That's
and then they got some
debatable.
guy in a basement somewhere.
Yeah.
Who's the genius.
Trevor just works out of his basement. What chemicals do you need? What nutritional products can I put in this? And then he just goes and puts them together.
Yeah. No, I was impressed. So definitely surprised by that. So two things that like I said before about a supplement. I want to make sure that it actually does what I think it does, or what it's supposed to do, and then that it's actually not going to harm my long-term health and wellness. You know, that it's a good product, that it's healthy. So,
and to touch on one thing that you mentioned about products that you like to get behind in companies was the customer service aspect.
Yeah.
One of the things that when we came to market, we said from day one, we need to have a killer warranty on our product. So what we offer for that warranty to provide customer service and to stand behind our products is a 30-day money-back, no questions asked guarantee. So if you take the product, you don't like it, you send it back to us.
Yeah.
And we do that. We do that for a couple reasons, because customer is king, and we want to make sure we take care of them no matter what. That is top priority. And we want people to feel confident in, you know, because people are, as skeptics, are like, well, is this going to work? I don't know. You know, well, try it. If it doesn't work, if it's not up to par for what you want, and you're not satisfied, then you can send it back, and there's no questions asked within that 30 days.
Honestly, I think that's kind of, it's brilliant, really, because, like, for example, when I went to the Sportsman show, Aaron Snyder had a Kafaru pack there, and he had an 86-pound bag of sand that put in it, and we carried it around, and I was like, that was the best way to find out how the pack worked or didn't work. You can talk all you want about, you know, its design or, you know, how many other guys like it, but you put it on and wear it and just find out. I mean, that's how you know. You take this, like, honestly, If you hadn't mixed it up, I wouldn't have tried it. I mean, I drank it and I was like, going back, So it's pretty cool because, offering that lets people actually just try it, and you stand behind that product, right? You're saying, give it a shot.
So let me ask you a
prove to me
question.
it doesn't work.
Yep, exactly.
So on July 21st, in a couple of days, today is the 10th, we will have been, to market
as
one
Mountain
year,
Ops
as
for
Mountain
our
Ops.
1 year mark.
It will be our 1 year
1 year
mark.
anniversary.
In
Okay.
1 year of business, how many returns do you think that we have received with that 30-day guarantee? Blah 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 that I just said. Since day one, we've offered that.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, you're good. I mean,
I'm going to say you've had, let's say, 20. 4?
4 returns in the last year. That's it. 2 of the returns.
And the only reason I say 20 is because I used it and it just worked.
And I appreciate that. Yeah, you knew, like, okay, this product's legit. Like, people probably aren't sending it back. If I ask that to somebody that hasn't tried the product, they're like, you guys probably get over 100 returns a month. You probably have like a 30%.
If I hadn't tried
return
it,
rate or
I'd be saying, I don't know, 100, 200,
100, 200.
300. Yeah.
So what's funny is 2 of the guys that ordered the product, their wives were going to kill them
That was
when they
the
saw the
best.
credit card statement. They're like, look, I haven't even been able to try these things, but my wife will literally kill me if I don't send these back. So we're like, no
We're
problem.
like, dude, bring them back. They bought one of our Conquer weight loss challenges. That's a 90-day challenge.
Yeah.
So it's for 3 months. And the guy, the letter he sent back was like, dude, I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna keep like the Yeti and a couple, but my wife's gonna kill me if I keep all this. She saw the credit card.
Which brings up a point. It's not cheap.
No, supplementation is and I will tell you this: we are not the cheapest supplement company out there either.
Yep.
I mean, you can go and find a pre-workout for $20. and
You can go into Costco. You can go into Walmart.
Yeah.
Some of the most trusted supplement people in the world. And you can go, and we get this all the time. Guys will say to us, I still remember a guy, he said, we have this, our ammo, which is our whey protein meal replacement. And this goes for $49.95. It's a 30-day supply. And he's like, well, I can go to Walmart. And this company has one for $19.99, roll back prices. So I said, well, why don't you send me the label? Let me take a look at it. So he sends me the label, and I start looking at the ingredients, just like you did.
Yep.
And with my knowledge and what I've understood now with supplementation and products and what you put in them and what benefits there are and how much they put in them, I'll tell you what, it was the most watered down, cut corners like you could get.
Yeah.
Because they're in a big manufacturer, and those stores want to make lots of money, so they cut their products and quality down for quantity, right?
Yeah.
So I told them, I says, well, it's not a fair comparison. One, this is a meal replacement. What you're sending me is a straight protein. Mine actually has more protein because that actually has 2 different kinds of protein in it.
Yeah.
Mine has a straight 100% whey protein in it.
Right.
And so I said to him, listen, man, I'm not here to try and convince you of anything. If it's cost, go with what your budget fits. If you're looking for quality instead of quantity, then I would highly recommend our products because they're the highest quality products on the market. So that's a big thing with people is, price, but we're very competitively priced.
Well, it kind of reminds me of like other brands. I just heard when I was listening to the Wired to Hunt podcast a while ago, and the guy that does that is Mark Kenyon, and he was doing it's sponsored with Sitka, and Sitka was talking about their product and how they build it, and they said, okay, why is Sitka so expensive? And the guy, their engineer, I think it was, I'm not sure, someone at the company said, look, when we go to design something, we aren't considering, when it comes to the clothing, cost. Cost isn't something we go into when we go into the engineering room and we start figuring out how to make the best technical thing with the coolest zippers and the best product. We're not looking at, well, what's it going to cost in the end? We're just trying to build the best stuff. Exactly. And then the price is whatever it is. Well, that prices a lot of people out.
The quality determines itself, and if you're willing to pay for a premium product, you'll do it. If not, you're probably not going to be our customer anyways.
Right. Well, and that's just what I was going to say is it does price some people out. They don't have the finances to jump into something like that.
It does, but a lot of times too, they look at the initial sticker cost, and if they were to look at probably what they're spending in energy products throughout a month,
right.
For example, there's a local bow shop that we get all of our stuff done. It's called Wild Arrow. One of the guys there, his name's Brandon, and Brandon consumed 5 energy drinks a day.
Yeah. He's one of those young bucks that
like you're talking like Rockstar.
I'm talking
Monster.
Rockstar, Red Bull, anything that had high amounts of caffeine, and then he was usually drinking about
how many a day?
5.
Holy cow!
Okay, so just think purely on.
This podcast has been broken into multiple parts to make the downloads faster. You have reached the end of a part, but not the end of the complete podcast. So please check your Gritty Bowman library for the next part of this podcast.
Bollocks.